right, staff members protested outside the SABC today against the retrenchment process that has begun at the organisation. Earlier we spoke to the EFF, we also spoke to Union Bamawu that said it wasn't officially involved in today's protest, but it is bringing legal action to try and interdict this process. The SABC would like to respond. Joining us now is the Chief Operations Officer, Ian Plaatjes. Mr. Plaatjes, your response to what was said earlier tonight?
Francis, unfortunately, I didn't have an opportunity to watch the program, so I don't know what exactly was responded to. So if you can ask me direct questions, and I can respond to that.
Okay, well, of course, there's the whole legal matter over consultations, which Bamawu says it's going to court over. You have said, as the SABC, that you've consulted to the hilt. They're saying those consultations are still not significant. Do you know about that court process? Is the SABC planning to oppose any action to try and interdict this process now?
I am aware that they were talking about it. We obviously haven't received any papers in that regard. And should we receive, yes, we would challenge it. We believe that we've concluded this process fairly and in good faith. And as you know, from the Labour Relations Act, we only needed to do 4 sessions in 2 months, basically. We did 16 sessions in 4 months.
Yeah.
So we more than adequately extended the time so that we could have meaningful engagement.
He was saying that there have been more questions asked, more questions have been sent to the SABC, and it's not really responding.
Okay, so what has happened is when we concluded the process, we allowed them to submit still written alternatives for us to consider, which we have considered in the new structure, and that we are executing on right now. So it was never a case of opening the negotiations and restarting the process. It was giving them an opportunity to present us with alternatives to consider.
All right, another legal matter came up tonight. Hannes de Bosson from Bamawu said that according to the law, SABC has a duty to find alternatives, if possible, for the people being retrenched and offer that to them. He says the process is being handled incorrectly because vacancies are then offered, but people even outside of the retrenchment process can apply for those vacancies. So it gives no sort of advantage to the people who are undergoing retrenchment. Your response to that, is it all legal, the way you're doing things right now?
100%. Everything we've done was according to the law. We've given them adequate time to present us with alternatives. Unfortunately, the unions have not done so.
The question is about if there's a vacancy and anyone can apply for that vacancy.
Yeah, I'm coming to that. So there's 400 people that is affected that will get letters. There's 170 positions that are available, and those positions are ring-fenced for internal, and so the affected people will get first opportunity of applying for those positions.
Okay, so they will have an advantage. Another claim he made is that the people have received final termination notices, those who have received letters, but that should only come, even according to the SABC, at the end of the process.
No, once again, the letters that they received was to inform them that they are affected and that they should, if they want to opt for remaining in the organization, to apply for the vacant position. Once they exercise that, they might opt to exit or they might opt to contest some of the positions. At the end of that process, they will receive a final letter where they will then obviously terminate the services from SABC. All
right, so you're saying those letters now are not final. Just while we have you, some other issues. The SABC reportedly has been summoned to Parliament on an urgent basis. Can you tell us when that'll be and what you've been told by Parliament?
It has been scheduled for Wednesday.
And do you know what will happen?
It's related to our annual report of the corporate plan.
Yeah. Do you feel there is any political impediment, pushback right now to the retrenchment process? The communications minister earlier said that her ministry was opposed to retrenchments, but it doesn't seem like her ministry is actively opposing this process right now. And am I correct in saying that?
Yeah, so we are applying the letter of the law in this process. And so obviously all parties and stakeholders have rights as well, like the right to have a picket. And so we're executing the right to proceed with the 189 process.
Final question. At that picket today, we're running a story. One of the editors got up and said, this is all about the Constitution and it's unconstitutional what you're doing. That is about the SABC's unfunded mandate to give a voice to South Africans across provinces, across this country. That's why we have people in the provinces where a lot of other media organizations don't go. By sort of bringing down the size, are you taking away that right to know, that reach across South Africa? What's your response to that?
Most definitely not. As you know, we are regarded as the best news within the country on the platforms that we serve, and we're maintaining that going into the future. So the fact that we are downscaling is not removing the news capabilities within the regions. And some of the regions are not really affected. It is a matter of we might be closing the offices, but the news staff will remain there.
All right. We appreciate your time tonight. That was the SABC's Chief Operations Officer, Ian Plaatjes.